The foreboding stranger seemed oblivious to the chaos he'd left in his wake. He took a few steps into the ballroom and lifted a glass of champagne from the tray of a benumbed servant, then stopped. With slow deliberation, he turned to face the gaping crowd. As if some mysterious force controlled her destiny, Jessica felt compelled to get a better look at the handsome stranger before he disappeared. She stepped into an opening where she could get a better view. His gaze caught her movement, and his haunting intensity locked with hers. A shivering awareness ran through her, heightening the sensation that prickled at the back of her neck, tightening the pronounced confusion that struggled deep within her breast. His frown deepened, and his brows narrowed to a thick, formidable line. His telling expression warned her that he was as aware of her as she was him. All stability ceased to exist while he held her captive with his concentrated look. Her blood blazed hot as a raging fire. The air she needed to fill her lungs vanished, and she couldn't seem to find enough air to breathe. He held her captive, and then, with a brutal jolt, he released his grasp of her. Her heart lurched violently, as if she'd just fallen from a very great height. With a final, commanding look at the crowd parting before him, he strode through the open double doors that led to the garden. The night-time darkness enveloped him as if he was one of its own, swallowing him into an inky blackness. Melinda sank down in the nearest chair and stared at the empty doorway. "He's come back. Who is he?" Jessica watched the doorway, hoping he would reappear. "Simon Westland, the Earl of Northcote." "His entrance caused quite a commotion." Jessica looked at the stunned faces in the ballroom. No one was dancing. The more curious of the ton flitted from one group to another as they discussed the appearance of the Earl of Northcote with growing animation. "I cannot believe he's here." "Why not?" "The scandal. His father was found dead 3 years ago. Everyone believes Northcote killed him." "You don't?" Melinda lifted her chin. "James refuses to believe he did. They have always been close friends, and James says the Earl is incapable of murder." Jessica looked at Melinda, amused at the unquestioning confidence she placed in her husband's opinion. "Why do you think he's come back?" "There can be only one reason," Melinda said decidedly. "He has come to find a rich wife." Jessica raised her eyebrows and gave her friend a skeptical look. From the expressions on the faces of the eligible females in attendance, a dark grave would be a more pleasant alternative. "A wife?" Melinda nodded. "It must be so. The Earl is bankrupt, and James says that without a miracle, he'll lose everything. The creditors will have control of all Northcote properties by the end of the month." Jessica looked again at the empty doorway. She let her gaze focus on the darkness beyond the patio door and the shadowed figure that had walked through its portals. "I pity the unfortunate female forced to become the sacrifice. It doesn't seem the most pleasant of futures," Jessica said. Although she couldn't explain it, Jessica sensed a connection to this stranger, like two threads woven through a piece of fabric, each thread separate, yet both necessary in order to make the pattern complete. Perhaps it was because society thought of both of them as oddities. Jessica looked back to the top of the stairway. Lady Drummond stood at the entrance in all her regal splendour, wearing the dress Jessica had waited all evening to see. Her heart pounded in her breast, excitement rushing through her veins. The gown was stunning, beautiful, absolutely divine, the most magnificent creation she had ever designed. She couldn't wait for society's reaction to it. She looked around the room, anticipating the smiles of admiration, the exclamations of wonder. But not one person looked toward the entrance. All in attendance stared at the terrace doorway, at the spot where the stranger had been swallowed by the darkness. Her heart fell. No one gave Lady Drummond or